Namaste. The COVID pandemic and lockdowns for almost the entire year 2020 presented major constraints and challenges to the Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center in Mexico City. Quite unprecedented and unimaginable for everybody. But I'm proud that GTICC rose to the challenge, it adapted, and it made sure that the show went on. Ultimately, we're actually awed at ourselves. Did we really do all this? Yes. The GTICC and the Embassy of India in Mexico has given a very good account of itself. This shows the creativity and resilience of the GTICC staff, led very ably by their workaholic director, Dr. Srimati Das.
Namaskar. Barrier Busters, Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center, Mexico performs amidst COVID lockdown 2020. In a year like never before, 2020 comes to an end. 2020, Culture Reloaded, where we have broken all ceilings, transcended new technological barriers, harnessed the changed world order, adopted utterly new modes of transactions. Yet the show went on unhindered. We were tested to the limit by innumerable constraints unheard of. GTICC has documented 2020 initiatives in a video format, Barrier Busters, which is all telling in itself.
A total of 211 in-house flyers with creative suggestions by His Excellency Manpreet Bora, Ambassador of India to Mexico, Dr. Srimati Das, GTICC Director, GTICC staff, and even invited guests in Spanish and English for the benefit of Mexican, Belizean, and Indian viewers. The publicity of the flyers has reached not only the Indian diaspora and Mexican Indian lovers, but also educational and cultural institutes in Mexico City and other important states like Guanajuato, Oaxaca, Jalisco, and even neighboring countries like Belize, reaching approximately 15,000 followers in order to update GTICC events in a timely manner. The digital flyer creation and distribution has been involving the paper reduction, resulting in the minimization of GTICC overall carbon footprint. Due to the pandemic lockdowns, the audiences have been eagerly looking forward for interesting and innovative contents on internet. At the same time, the GTICC has been producing multi-theme content in different forms and platforms, resulting in the increasing number of contents as well as viewers. The Embassy of India in Mexico and the Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center organized 31 cultural events in 2020. These events were grouped into four main celebrations: 70 years of India-Mexico diplomatic relations, International Yoga Day, 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, and International Ayurveda Day. These celebrations were held to share with the audience the connections and similarities between Mexico, India, and Belize in different aspects. The Indian Council for Cultural Relations, through the Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center, Embassy of India in Mexico City, has thrived in adversity during the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown, accomplishing the objective of ICCR by fostering and strengthening cultural relations, exchanges, and mutual understanding between India, Mexico, and Belize.
Namaskar. When we speak about India, we get reminded of the vibrant and dynamic nation we represent in an equally vibrant country like Mexico. Continuing with the strides gained in 2020 under COVID restrictions, the Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center has been on the forefront of establishing and flourishing cultural diplomacy of India in Mexico. The center forays ahead to contribute towards building this great cultural bridge between India and Mexico. Throughout the year 2021, GTICC has conducted 46 online and hybrid events, designed 135 posters in English and Spanish, imparted 4 masterclasses in Tabla and Kathak by masters from India, conducted 2 international workshops in Amete and Patchitra Katha paintings in collaboration with institutions like IIT Kharagpur, held 4 international contest competitions on paintings, essay writing for women and scholars from India, Mexico, and Belize, and also scripted the prestigious cultural compendium on India-Mexico Cultural Connect, which was jointly published by Indian Council for Cultural Relations and the Embassy of India in Mexico. The Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center has been the instrument of active public and cultural diplomacy of the Government of India in Mexico. I am proud to witness that the events and activities conducted by GTICC had got large audience and were resonated in the minds and thoughts of every Mexicans who attended them. Establishing useful linkages to leverage the power of soft power diplomacy and enhance our visibility has been the vision of GTICC, and it is so heartening to witness the successful implementation of this vision. Under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations this year, the Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center has planned numerous activities keeping in mind the outreach and to engage numerous actors like think tanks, academicians, scholars, painters, dancers, musicians alike. I would like to mention here that we all are looking forward to the activities planned by GTICC in this year 2022 and 2023, especially under the rubric of AKAM celebrations. The spirit has been reinforced, the energy has doubled, and the partnership between India and Mexico will definitely flourish in the coming years, especially in the field of cultural linkages. I invite all of you to please come and attend the activities being performed by the Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center virtually as well as physically. Please join us in celebrating India in Mexico. We are at your service. Enhorabuena, muchas gracias.
Namaskar. As the director of the Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center, Embassy of India, Mexico, it gives me a great sense of accomplishment to lead the team and to put on record the voluminous work put in by my talented, hard-working, highly technically savvy team members, Mr. Ricardo Perez, Gabriela Mora, and Aaron Espinosa, in transacting the numerous initiatives for Mexico and Belize in 2021. We have endeavored to give you a glimpse of what we accomplished under pandemic situation in 2020 through this promo video, Barrier Busters. 2021, another year, much team effort, many milestones crossed. Nothing limits us in our conceptualization and realization. 3 events out of the 46 cultural events conducted since January 2021 till date, which stands out for us at GTICC. The first was an international painting competition for amateur women painters from India, Mexico, Belize in July 2021, and the theme was No Lockdown for Creativity. Their take on the pandemic. The response has been stupendous. The second We are very proud of our initiative in celebrating October 2nd in a very unique manner this year in conducting the video blogging competition on Wallpaper Mexico with philosophies and thoughts of Mahatma Gandhi in collaboration with the prestigious Children Film Society of India, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India. The third was Embassy of India Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center was the guest of honor at the 7th Miradas Localis International Cinefest from October 13 to 17, 2021. The highlights at this Cinefest were 8 Indian films subtitled in Spanish and the grand cultural presentations by the ICCR scholars of this cultural center. We did woo the spectators. The year 2021 yet to conclude, and I'm sure these cultural forays will be taken to new heights with every dedication and devotion by GTICC towards enhancing the preferred partnership bond between India and Mexico through this soft power diplomatic initiation. We will strive to give our best and leave the rest. Good morning. Namaskar. Buenos dias, Mexico, Belize. Good evening, India. Welcome to you all at this masterclass series. I am Dr. Srimati Das, Director of Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center, Embassy of India, Mexico. Today we have Sharmila Mukherjee, Founder Director of Sanjali Center for Odissi Dance at Bangalore, India. Welcome. Welcome to you, Sharmila.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Odissi, one of the 8 classical dance forms in India, celebrated around the world for its lyricism, sensuality, and emphasis on Bhakti Bhava. These masterclass series are specially crafted for the dance form lovers of Mexico. On behalf of the Embassy of India, Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center, I accord a warm welcome to Sharmila Mukherjee, our masterclass instructor today. Ma'am, we are really fortunate to have you with us today. And Mexico thanks you. Let us all benefit from these classes. We have with us the practitioners of these dance forms, students, teachers from Mexico who look forward to today's session. I would like to bring to your kind notice viewers who are online on our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Share your email on the chat box so that we can share today's class notes with you in Spanish. Chat box, you can also ask questions which the maestra will answer as and when the session is on, or could be even after her session is over. Make best use of these classes.
100%.
With a brief, I would like to introduce Sharmila Mukherjee to our office gathering today. And I'm sure we are going to appreciate the time she has given to be with the Mexicans today in imparting the basics of the great dance form Odissi from India. Sharmila Mukherjee is the founder and artistic director of Sanjali Center for Odissi Dance in Bangalore, India, which was established in 2004. At a very young age of 16, she has played many roles on Tagore's dance drama, and one of the most important noticeable here is Chandalika, which is supposed to be one of the famous Tagore protagonists in his many, many dramas and plays. Sharmila started learning Odissi under the tutelage of Guru Keluchiran Mahapatra from 1984 in Kolkata. Vigorous intensive training in Odissi continued at her guru's residence in Cuttack and Bhubaneswar. She is from the Mecca of Odissi dance in the world. Guru Kelucharan Mahapatra himself accompanied Sharmila on the Mardala for her Ranga Pravesha in 1988, and thereafter Sharmila started performing Odissi as a solo artist and in some productions directed by the Guruji. She also took lessons in Abhinaya from Srimati Kalanidhi Narayan and attended workshops conducted by late Srimati Sanjukta Panigrahi, another maestro of Odissi. Ma'am, we are really fortunate to have you here today. Sharmila taught Odissi at many schools in India, all over Calcutta School of Music, a very prestigious institution, and also looked after the administration of that institute for a year. Her main input as I went through her CV was that she teaches dance and movement therapy at the Oral School for Deaf Children. This is a great social endeavor which has been done by Sharmila Mukherjee. She has choreographed and directed many productions with these children, the most notable among them being Ramayana, a full length dance drama in which more than 50 hearing impaired children participated. Then she moved over to Bangalore, and even in Bangalore, she dedicates her time, her art, her energy for the Institute of the Deaf, and she continues to do so. She has got intensive workshop learning, dance movement, and how to work with the hearing impaired children at the British Council, Kolkata, under the guidance of the visiting faculty members from Laban Center, United Kingdom. A grade A artist of Doordarshan and an established artist of the Indian Council for Cultural Relation, Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center is an ICCR center at Mexico and all over the world too. Sharmila has performed at various prestigious festivals and conferences in India and abroad in countries like Fiji, Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand, Italy, USA, Indonesia, UAE, and the list just goes on. A Shringar Mani from the Sur Shringar Sansat, Sharmila was recently conferred with the prestigious Mahari Award from the Guru Pankaj Charan Das Foundation, Odisha, for her contribution to Odissi dance, and also a BCKA Kalakshetra Award from the Bangalore Club for Kathakali and the Arts in Bangalore. Having made Bangalore her home now, she is a choreographer and has created many dance pieces and directed a number of productions in Odissi. Notable among them, there are so many, but which I would like to say is Kalidasa's Ritu Samhara, which many established artists think 100 times before starting. But Sharmila Mukherjee has taken up Kalidasa's Ritu Samhara among other choreographies. Many students have done their Ranga Pravesha under the guidance of Sharmila, who has made a name for herself as one of the pioneers of Odissi in India. Sanjali has opened various branches all over, and many of Sharmila's senior students are solo performers today and help her to run the classes and teach independently themselves. I would have gone on, but that would have been an hour of the session introducing Sharmila Mukherjee to you. I think I should now back off and give the floor completely to Sharmila Mukherjee, our masterclass exponent of today. Mexico, please benefit out of her training for us today. Ma'am, literally, the floor is all yours. Welcome, Sharmila Mukherjee, to Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center, Embassy of India at Mexico. Welcome, madam. Bienvenidos. Ma'am, I think so your microphone is muted.
No, now
Yeah, I can
can
hear
you
you.
hear me
You're
now?
audible. Yeah.
I needed to know if I'm on, because I could see that microphone is. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Srimati, for that long introduction. And it gives me great pleasure to be here and to talk a little bit about the basics. I have been asked to talk about the basics of Odissi, and I think introducing Odissi to an audience which most of them would have seen. Most of you would have seen a lot of Odissi performances. It's the social network is there, social media is there, so everything is online. But I will try to go into the nuances of Odissi, which is not commonly known to the general public, maybe only to students of Odissi who have gone deep into the study of Odissi. Else, yes. So I begin my talk by sort of saying that Odissi is, of course, a very ancient dance form, and it originated in the temples, and they were, it was sort of became popular with the Devadasis, who were called Maharis, who offered their worship to God, the Lord Jagannath, the deity of Orissa, through dance. And gradually it came to the general public when little boys who dressed up as girls, they were called gotipuas, started performing in, kind of gymnasiums. And eventually, of course, the present repertoire of Odissi today is a sort of combination of this Mahari and Gotipua style. My own guru, Guru Keluchar Mahapatra himself was a Gotipua dancer. His wife was a Mahari dancer. So it's what he has created is a beautiful blend of both, I would say. And I'm blessed that I was a student. And because there are, since the inception of Odissi, Odissi is a dance form which got recognized quite late, post-independence, by the Sangeet Natak Academy as a classical dance form. So in the beginning, after after independence, post-independence, gurus and scholars got together and they formed this association called Jayantika. And as what happens, they parted ways after some time. So each guru carried a certain style. So, you have the Guru Keluchar Mahapatra style, you have the Guru Pankaj Charan Das style, you have the Deva Prasad Das style. So there are about 4 or 5 styles. And then after that, of course, it's been carried over by, their students. And so I will try to go into a little details of the style that I have learned from my guru. And I will, of course, not only talk, I will, of course, do some demonstration. So the basic, the main thing when a student comes into the classroom is the posture. Is the first thing is that we have to have our spines erect. I think that is with all dance forms. And we have a series of exercises and warm-ups which, sort of introduce the dance and make the body flexible, so that because Odissi as a dance form, it's sit in a sitting posture most of the time. Unlike Bharatanatyam or Kathak, it doesn't ever straighten the knees much. So it's because we follow the posture of Lord Jagannath. This is the posture that we have, and this is called the Chauka posture. So, it could be a little hard on the knees and the back. So there are various kind of exercises and warm-ups which are taught to the student. So to make it easy, we have a series of sound. I have been given about, I think, 40 minutes. So I'll try to put it together in 40 minutes because it's, there's so much. So I'll just take a little bit of it. So there are lots of sound and soundless exercises we start with. So the first thing is, as I said, is the posture. I need to, yeah. I hope.
What happened to our internet?
See me? Or do I need to set my camera?
Yeah, you're okay. You're fine,
I'm
Sharmila. Yeah.
right.
Huh?
So the posture is this. Yeah, I think I need to do this. Yeah, okay, this is better. So this is the posture that is there. Now, to get into it, firstly we have to we cut the bhangis. There are the 4 basic bhangis, main bhangis of Odissi. The first one is, of course, the sama bhangi. Sama itself means the straight bhangi. You know, everything is straight. You're erect. Your spine needs to be straight. And then we get into the choka posture. To get into the choka posture, the choka is like the Bharatanatyam Aramandi, but the heels are touching. Here we have a little bit of gap. So to get into it, we open the feet out to a 45-degree angle and then make them parallel again. And then open it out again. Now we open it completely, both the toes facing outwards, and we get into this posture. So that you get the proper measurement of about 2 shikharas, we call it. So approximately 12 inches. And to balance that, we have the posture where we open the hands like this. Now it's the square posture. It is the masculine posture. It is the posture that is it's come from Lord Jagannath. So this is how it opens out, this way. And as you can see, the body shouldn't bend. I hope the mirror helps. The body shouldn't bend forward. So this is the posture that needs to be kept always in place. And when we have to do that, there are various exercises that are taught to the students. The first one, of course, is opening out your toes and then completely sitting in this posture and then up. So these are some of the exercises that are taught. It gets more and more complicated as the students learn. So to make your knees a little more stronger, we have full sitting and then again getting up without jerking. Full sitting on the side and then getting up without jerking. And then, of course, these are some of the soundless exercises. Then we have the sound exercises where you're supposed to sit and to keep your backs erect and to develop your core strength. You're supposed to get into these kind of jumps and various other jumps. Those are sound and soundless exercises. Body bending is very, very important. So keeping the spine erect as far as you can go, body bend. Anga Bhramari, which is Anga means body, Bhramari is round. So among the soundless exercises is the whole body which needs to go round. Keeping sometimes the posture in this always. So even if we are doing an Anga Bhramari, we will bend forward and go side and go back and go side and go. Never with the shoulders hunching forward, always with the spine erect. So these are some of the introductory exercises that are taught. Another very important one is, of course, with my guru style, is the torso movement. The torso means from side this portion. So nothing of the shoulder or the hip should move. And along with the step, the torso needs to just move from, it's called, when it moves to the left side, it's called Vamachala. When it moves to the right side, it's called Dakhyachala. So the torso is very important. I will just demonstrate one step with the torso. In Odissi, everything it's a very unique dance form because it goes opposite. It's sort of, the body goes opposite to the foot, the neck goes opposite to the hand, the eyes go follow the neck. So, when I demonstrate, you'll understand. So, supposing a movement like this, when we do the first one, ta, thi, na, ka. Thi, ni, we are opening it into this. And now, with the torso movement, with only wrist movement, not moving the elbows, not moving the shoulder, ta, thi, na, ka, thi, ni, ta. The neck points to the wrist, eyes towards the wrist, the torso moves away from the hand and the foot. Ta, thi, na, ka, thi. So that's what I meant when I said that it's all going. So this itself takes a very long for a complete novice to master. When a student, he or she, when they join, this itself could take months just to understand the torso movement, the core strength here, which has to develop, and without moving the hips and the shoulder, it takes a very, very long time. Because otherwise you will have, everything moving at, so which does not look aesthetic. So this control of not moving the hip and not moving the shoulder and moving the torso away from the hand and the foot and keeping your feet in choka position, not opening it out, just keeping it in one position and having all your strength here, it takes a very, very long time. And it's also hard on the stamina. So that is choka. As I said, samabhangi, the choka, and of course the very, very unique, everybody knows, is the Tribhang. Tribhang position is unique to Odissi. It is the three-bent posture. So, and you create a series of triangles even in your arms. So to get into Tribhangi also we have there's a technique to do it. So again, you open it to 45-degree angle, make both the feet parallel. So now both are sort of facing the same direction. Turn the heel forward so that you get into a 90-degree angle here. So the heel the right heel, which is now called the Trasya Pada. Trasya, the position of Trasya is this. The right heel should be in line with your, just maybe behind your big toe. Not in front or not at the back. So here. Again, this will help you to get about 1 shikhara distance. And in that position, once you get this opened, you put your hand here, one on the waist, left on the waist. This is the right side that I'm doing, right Tribhangi, right Trasya. Right hand just above the knee, and you bend. You sit, and then you bend to your right side. And the head turns, as I said, everything is opposite. The head tilts to the left so that your chin points to the right. And in this position, you do the torso movement again. So the torso moves away, the neck points to the right foot, the eyes follow the neck, ni, ta, thi, na, ka, thi, ni, ta, ta, thi, na, ka, thi, ni, ta, thi, na. See, the thing is that the body is at an angle, and without using your hips and shoulders, you need to keep that angle and do your torso the same way you were doing this one. So Tribhangi in a way is a little more difficult because your body is not straight anymore, it's bent. And in that position, the torso is moving, the eyes are moving, the neck is moving, nothing else is moving in the first step. Only the foot, the neck, the torso, and of course the eyes. So that will take longer. From one of the things I have learned in my years of teaching is that to develop the core strength, you can also keep it at a balance. Once you get your Tribhangi position, you lift the foot up, balance, and practice your torso in that. Thi, na, ka, thi. So that you also develop more core strength and also practice your balance. Because we have a lot of balancing to do in Odissi. One leg, standing on one leg, turning, so there are a lot of balances. So that is Tribhangi. We have various steps in Tribhangi and Chauka. 10, Guruji had given us 10. I have introduced more, taking from various Pallavis and pure dances, and I've made it about 20, 25. I've also introduced, created, composed some short pieces of only Chauka steps and only Tribhangi steps, using a lot of the turns and the jumps and the torso. So everything is put together and it becomes like a exercise warm-up. So that is Tribhangi. In Tribhangi, as if you have, as I said, 10. Now I cannot show you all because that will take too much time. So this is number 1. Number 2, same thing. In this position, you will do. Now you will take your toe and place it where the heel was, and then again take your heel out and place it where the toe was. So everything is measured. When you have the Trasya position, when the toe should come where the heel was, the heel moves with the toe. So much measure. So that's where it comes, that's where it goes. And with this, again, you move your torso, keeping the Tribhangi position. And of course, many, many more. It gets more and more complicated and more intricate as the steps go higher. And another one that is not done so much in the sense that we don't have steps too much with it. We do a few steps, is the Abhanga position. Abhanga position is a very beautiful position. It is, again, the body is moving to the opposite side. So when you are facing maybe towards your left and your torso has shifted to the right, your hands will be on your right hip and your neck moves to the left side. So as I said, again, it's all opposite. It's a very, very feminine posture. Mostly we try, we show goddess Parvati, or, very, very feminine, as I said. So in this, you can, if we do a step, then it will be dhin, tak, dhini. It moves to Tribhangi, opposite of Tribhangi, tak, dhini, ta, tak, dhini. Arabhangi it's called when it becomes opposite of Tribhangi, ka, dhini, ta. Only the torso moving, tak, dhini, dhin, tak, dhini, ta, tak, dhini, dhin, tak, dhini, ta, tak, dhini, dhin, tak, dhini, ta. In Abhanga, moving the torso with the step. Tribhangi, so Asamabhangi, Chauka, Tribhangi, Abhanga. It's called Abhanga position. So these are some of the there are so much, like Odissi, we follow, of course, Natya Shastra, yes. Abhinay Darpan, we also have texts like Abhinay Chandrika, and Guruji had brought out these books called Odissi Pathfinders, where he's put a lot of the nuances of Odissi, the text of Odissi there. So we follow that. Like in Abhinay Darpan, you have, if students of Bharatanatyam are here, you have the Utpluta, then you have the, the Ekapada Brahmari, and you have the Garuda. So I'll just give you an example. Like in what Guruji has done is that if you have an Utpluta Brahmari, which is actually this one, when you turn and it touches. So in Chauka, you can have a Utpluta also, where it's a Chauka Utpluta Brahmari. Or a Chakra Brahmari, which is this position. ta, dhini, ta. This is the Chauka chakra position. Variation of that would be the Kunchita Chauka chakra bhamari, where you use the toe in the Kunchita position. Variation of that will be the Anga Chauka chakra bhamari, where you use the Anga to go round while you are doing the chakra bhamari. And of course, the Chauka chakra Baksha bhamari. So din, ta, dhini, ta, dhini, din. You use the torso in a full round, which we call Utchala. Agrachala, when we go forward, we go back, we go the side and the side. So it becomes like a full round. So those are things in Odissi which we have, which are not used in other dance forms, of course. That's particular only to Odissi. Apart from steps in Chauka and Tribhangi, we have to teach, there are various other basics like Utplavanas, which are the jumps, Brahmaris, Gatis, Charis. Odissi has beautiful charis. Some of them I could just demonstrate, maybe a few charis, like, okay, the first one. So here, dhin ta, dhin nak dhini ta, tak dhini, dhin ta. Now you again with the torso, you are coming into a like a Abhanga and like an Abhanga and a kind of a Arabhangi, coming into this, getting into Tribhangi. Again, dhinta with the torso, takadhini, place, Tribhangi. Takadhadhi, nakadhini, ta, Tribhangi. So that could be, part of the chalan, which has been given many more names, like Prishthalataita, a movement like this, which goes backwards. Dhin, Tinaka, Dhini, Tribhangi, finishes in Tribhangi. Trekedhina, ta, brush, with the torso, dhini, ta. Everything is all about the body movement. Trekedhina, coming to Tribhangi again, and brushing. Now again you're in slight Abhanga position. Then opposite, dhini, ta, trekedhina, dhin, tinakadhini, ta. So these could be part of charis, movements like, for we have Sharan, which is like the following movement. So dhin, tak, dhin, tak, tak, dhini, dhin, tak, dhini, tak, tak, dhini, dhin, tak, dhini, tak, tak, dhin. Again, the torso is movement. Every time we do a movement, the torso needs to move very gracefully, and not one shouldn't overdo, because it's very easy to overdo and make it a little jarring, which is very important that we shouldn't overdo. So you have various movements like this. You're starting with a opposite Tribhangi. This is my Tribhangi. I start with an opposite, and I go dhin, tak, dhini, tak, dhini, tak, dhini. Finish in Tribhangi. Again, opposite Tribhangi, dhin, tak, dhini, tak, dhini, tak, dhini. Finishing in the Trasya position, the Tribhangi position. So these are, I could go on and on. So many movements in Odissi. I'll also show you, because we have very beautiful Brahmaris. Brahmaris are when we go round. So, yes. Brahmaris. I'll try and show you a few. So the one we do in Chauka is, of course, the Ekapada Chauka Brahmari, which is the normal thing, and then you finish in the Chauka. Now, the thing about Odissi is that you can't get up. You know, like you keep it in Chauka and then you get up and put it down. Then up, down should not be there. So basically, you are always in a sitting posture, and you turn, and you're still there. You take it into Prushta Mahapada, this is called, turn, and finish in Chauka. So, that's very important. You know, this up, down, this kind of a jarring movement should not be there. So again, it needs balance. So of course, first you have to master your Chauk. Only once you've mastered your Chauk and Tribhangi, then we can start the Brahmaris. In Tribhangi, we have some beautiful Brahmaris, like there are various feet positions in Odissi, which is not there in any other dance form. Very, very, of course, sort of intrinsic with Odissi only. So this is your Adipada. First is your Bhumi Sthita Lina Pada, which is slightly out part. Then your Adipada, with one toe on top of the other. Sama. Viparit Mukha, which is like an Aramandi, which opens out. The Kumbha. I hope you can see my feet. I should try to. Yeah, it's Kumbha. Then you put it down and you come into a Dhanu position. It's like the bow and arrow. And it's important to keep your left foot in a cornered position and the right foot heel facing outwards. And again, Prishta Dhanu, important to keep a gap. So, people do this or they do this, that's very, very important. They must understand that the toe heel must come up. Prishta Dhanu. Then you have the Mahapada. You have the Prushta Mahapada, which goes behind the knee. You have a beautiful position called Ullalita. Now, in Ullalita, in some Brahmaris, we are supposed to keep, supposing we, very, very common, we do the sun god, we show like this in Ullalita, or even Shiva holding the Damaru. So, and you're supposed to keep a bit of Tribhangi, and you go dhin ta, dhinita, ta, dhini dhin ta, dhinita, ta, dhini dhin ta, dhinita, ta, dhini dhin ta, dhinita. So the important thing is to balance. No jumping, no jerking. So this takes a long time. The balance is something, as I said in the beginning, we have so much of Brahmaris and standing in one foot. We have a lot of that. The Meena Pucha, where it's the tailbone of the fish. So again, here you take your position. The foot needs to be turned out. It cannot be like this. So everything is very important. It needs to be turned out. The left foot facing the left front corner, and the right foot comes up. Your body bends, and you show the Meena. Okay. So this is your. And in this position also, you have a Brahmari. Or you have Lolita Pada. Lolita means swing. So you keep the foot in this position. In this position. It's not touching. It's actually just where your knee is. Again, your left foot should be in corner position, not straight, not turned in corner position. This has to be maintained when you're doing the right side. When you're doing the left Pada Bhedas, the right foot has to be always in this position, except for a few, of course. In Lolita position, also, we can have or a Uttalita. Uttalita. This is Uttalita, where the foot goes. Uttalita means it's the toe is up. The toe is up. Uttalita. And in this position, keeping the Tribhangi, you could again do a Brahmari. So many positions like this where one needs to keep your balance and the core strength. Always maintain the core strength. So these are some of the basics. I'm just going through what else here. Mudras. We have quite a few Padabhedas. I just demonstrated a few. with those we have, using our mudras, it becomes like a sculpture. So if you have say like a dhanu, and you get into a Tribhangi, then it's Krishna. If you have a Prishtadhanu, and you can hold a Darpana here and one hand on top, you get a nice position here. Or even this side, you hold the veil and you hold one up and you hold this Meena Kucha with Tribhangi. The Tribhangi needs to be maintained. You get a beautiful posture here. Again, with the Kunchita Pada, you get into Tribhangi, take your hand, open it into the Darpana, a woman who is wearing her banpin. A woman who is in Lolita Pada, as I showed you, Lolita, get into Tribhangi, hold the Darpana, who is wearing the Bhangtika. In Abhanga position, in let's say in Anukunchita, this is called Anukunchita. Anu means to follow, so this we did Kunchita. Anukunchita is when the foot, the toe is little behind, and you can get into this position, again with a Darpana, looking at yourself, you get a beautiful posture. So these are various postures and which follow, and mudras. When you put it together, you get a bhangi. Not the chalk Tribhangi, that beautiful, like, mostly taken from temple sculptures. Odissi mudras. Now, everybody, most students of dance will know the 28 Asamyuktas and 23 Samyuktas, so I'm not going into that. For Odissi students, we have something which is very vastra, which is when you describe the clothing. Tambula. Tambula is, it means, the betel nut, offering a betel nut. Tambula. You have pushpa, the flower, little flower bud. Then you have the bana, the arrow that strikes. So this will be your bana. These are not in the other Abhinaya Darpan. Then you have the Shuka Chanchu, which is very, very, very unique to Odissi, where the middle finger and the thumb touches, and the other fingers are rounded. This is used a lot in our dance. It's a different thing to do suchi. Suchi is it's a needle. It means a needle. So when you're showing a beautiful woman or beautiful face, we normally finish in this position, which is Shuka Chanchu. We have a lot of steps also using this mudra. Shuka Chanchu, it means a parrot's beak. Then we have Ardha Suchi, which is like, as I said, Suchi is the full needle. Ardha Suchi will be here. So again, in Nritta, we use it. But, it's a different thing to do this. And it's a different thing when you're doing this. Dhinda Atta, Tadhini, Dhinda Atta, Ardha Suchi. Then we have the Balaya, which is the bracelet. And we have the last one is the Pallava. Pallava means like, the plant, the leaf. So which is slightly bent. So it's not a pataka like this. Pataka is this. Pataka is not this or this. Okay. Pataka is straight. Now Pallava will be slightly fingers opened, a little more loose version. Like a leaf that is slightly bent. In double hand, we have the Padma, the lotus, Gabaksha, window, Mayura, the peacock, Kapitha and Pataka. Ubhay Kartari is to show rasa, to show lovemaking, to show frolicking. Ubhay Kartari. And we have Pradeep, the diya that we light. And we have Dhwaja Mushti. This is, we use this, the Mushti and the Dhwaja, basically like a pataka to show a sitting kind of a place for anybody. And we have the Dhwaja Mushti, and we have the Vyaghra, which is to show the lion or the tiger, So these are some of the mudras which I thought I should demonstrate, because these are very, very typical of Odissi and not in Abhinaya Darpan or Natya Shastra. It won't be there. And so only students of Odissi would probably know. Maybe the others will not know that. Tribhangi and Chauka, and we have done Abhanga, torso, yes. And what is it I wanted to show? So this is, I think, have I crossed the time? Please let me know, or do I?
Ma'am, we have lost the sense of time when we look at you. Please continue. Please continue. I'm sure the
All right.
students are benefiting much, much out of it. Even I have become a great follower of your Odissi today. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Please.
Okay, then I'll just take another 10 minutes more, maybe to, or would you like to go in for the question answer, and that way we just can take it from there?
As you feel, you have time with you. Please go ahead.
Okay, so all right, then I will just show some. Let me see. For the, I can do a kind of a demonstration. Show one piece which is we have, okay, Abhinaya, yes. The main thing in Odissi, like the other dance forms like Bharatanatyam, we have, of course, the bhavas and the rasas, the 9 rasas. We have the Ashtanayikas, everything. So before we go into an Abhinaya piece, the dancer needs to be technically sound. So there are students who would come and say, I want to learn an Abhinaya piece after learning 1 or 2. It's not possible, because unless you do it technically correctly, the bhava won't come. You may be very good in your expressions, but it doesn't look correct. So, of course, the Abhinaya is something that comes at a later stage. We have very beautiful Abhinayas, Ashtapadis, of course, Geet Govind. We have Uriya Abhinayas nowadays. Dancers are composing in different languages, Hindi, Bengali. I myself, I live in Bangalore. I have done Kannada compositions. So it all depends on the the text and the script, and language basically has no barrier. So regarding Abhinay, maybe I will just you have the usual, the Shringar. Now the Shringar is something that is you have either Bhakti, or you have the Samyoga, which is the man, woman, or you have the Vatsalya, which is the woman and the child, the mother and the child. So most of our Abhinays, of course, are Shringar based. Especially the Shringar is love. Love is the first emotion that everybody experiences. When a child is born, you're born, you want love. So it also it combines a little bit of bhakti. Now, when you do Ashtapadis from Geet Govind, then of course the bhakti rasa has to be there, because this is a Atma looking for Paramatma. So this is one Abhinay which I thought I'll just demonstrate only sitting, because it's I've shown you some of the mudras. We, of course, in Odissi, we have all our eye movements, like your Sama and your Pralokita, and all that, Sachi, and so everything is there. The head movements like Sama, Udvahita, then Adhomukha. I don't think I'm going into that too much, because I think a lot of the students will know. 9 head movements, 8 neck eye movements. For the Odissi, we have the neck movements. The Sundari we don't use so much. We mostly use the Parivartita Gribha, which is the circular movement. Now, when we are doing even Chauka stepping and Tribhangi, if you've noticed, when we are doing Dhin, Dhinak, Dhini, Ta, Dhinak, Dhini, Dhin. You can write your questions. Okay. So here the neck movement is Parivartita. Now, to practice this also, there is a way, there's a technique. You need to keep your shoulders straight and your fingers in this, and it goes till here, and this is the corner of your eye, and then it goes till here. So this is also a way we make, because it's not many are comfortable. Sometimes they do like this, which is not correct. You need to keep your eyes in front and just move the neck, and then your eyes can follow slightly corner to corner. So that's very important. So these are also taught as part of the basics. along with other movements and things like that. So I think I'll just demonstrate a little bit of a. Sorry, are the questions coming in? No. I'll just demonstrate one piece from Geet Govind, which is here. This is the 11th song, and Radha's friend is telling Radha that the gentle, soft and gentle breeze is blowing next to the river Yamuna, where in that wild forest under the tree, Krishna sits waiting for you. He, in anticipation of lovemaking, he comes in the guise of Madan. At the sound of leaves falling to the ground and the wind blowing, and maybe even the birds or a feather that falls, he imagines that you're coming. Oh Radha, oh Nitambini, one with heavy hips, don't delay, go fast, follow your heart and desire to meet Krishna. So this in Abhinaya will, when I do it, Dhira Samire Yamuna Tire Dhira Samire Yamuna Tire Vasati Vane Vanamali Vasati Vane. He sits under the tree. Vanamali Rati Sukha Sare Gatama Visare Madana Mano Hara Vesham Rati Sukha Sare Rati Sukha Sare Gatama Visare Madana Mano Hara Vesham Patati Patatre Vichalita Patre Shankita Bhava Nupayanam Patati Patatre Vichalita Patre Shankita Bhava Dupayanam Nakuru Nitambini Gamana Vilambana Nakuru Nitambini Gamana Vilambana Anusharatvam Hridayesham Dhira Samire Yamuna Tire Basati Vane Vanamali. So that was a little bit of Abhinay. I think we can go in for the question answer round. And in the question, if I need to demonstrate or show anything, please let me know.
We have with us Sharmila ji.
Yes.
We have with us our former teacher of GTICC, Saknikte.
Okay.
She is there on the screen with us. She has been teaching Odissi in Mexico City.
I see. Wonderful.
So if she can ask some questions to you, I'm sure she will have some questions. She's a good exponent.
Sure. Okay.
There is a question now. You can take up this and then we can ask Saknikte to ask you. Can you give us some advice to do a good sadhana?
Please go slow and practice. Whatever you learn, be very detailed about it. Ask your teacher questions and get into the detail of it and practice. In the beginning, you can't practice for, whatever you learn, you practice. It depends on how much time you have, at least 2 hours minimum. And then you can increase it as you go, as you get more and more, proficient. So sadhana is about that. It's just learning and practicing. Just because for every teacher, you have to meet the guru and the shishya have to meet halfway. It has to be 50% from both. Or 100% from both, actually. So it cannot be 100% from the teacher and just about 40% from it doesn't work. You have to meet halfway. So whatever you learn, please practice.
Saknikte, if you are online, I'm sure you are there on the screen. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Would you like to ask Sharmila ji any question? Because you have been a very good teacher at Mexico. And I was just telling my staff that she is very graceful. So if you would like to ask some questions to Sharmila ji, please.
Yes. Guruji, at what point do you start to teach Avinaya to your students?
I would normally teach after they learn at least the base, after stepping and chauka and all that is over. Then you have your Mangala Charan, which is your Ganesh Vandana. Then you have the Batu, and at least 2 Pallavis before they get into Abhinaya. Because I just feel that unless you are technically sound, it's difficult. So at least if a student is very advanced and quite very sincere, then maybe 1 Pallavi, but at least 2 Pallavis for. Sometimes they may need more. They may need 3 Pallavis or so before you get into an Abhinaya, and start with a simple Abhinaya. No, Abhinaya is simple, but I'm saying a little, not so complicated.
Thank you
there
very
are
much.
You're welcome. Do you have any exercise videos for older beginners who wish to start learning? Yes, Gayatri, you could do the ones I showed you. The ones that I showed you like this. This is the first one, where you open out your and hold it straight, and just open and try to go down as much as you can. Some people can go down with feet flat, but you can open it heels up like this. We call the Kumbha position, and go straight down and sit in that position and come up. Just do this for many days, like very slow, and then come up, and then go a little faster, like you go down and up and down and up. This would be your first exercise, Gayatri. And there are many more. Body bending, as I said, very slowly go down. Keep your back straight as much as you can go without hunching. The main thing is that we don't do this. All right, at every point, we have to keep our back straight as much as you can go down. A very good one to open your chauka is this half sari. When you sit in that position, in the chauka position, and just get into the chauka position. I showed you the chauka position, feet together, opening up, and then count. How long can you sit like this? In the beginning, your knees will hurt. You could probably just do 5, then go to 10, go to 20, 50, 100, 200. But don't get up. Sit. Okay? It is used as punishment in my class when they are not sitting in chauka properly. You have to sit in 100 counts. So it is a bit of a punishment, but it really opens this out. There are various ways to improve your chauka. That's one of them. And I said, little tougher one is, of course, sitting, and trying to get up without a jerk. Now, these are all sitting and getting up, which maybe you'd find difficult. Simple exercises, definitely the torso, keeping your hands here and just working on your torso, because I think you have done Odissi before. So moving your body, the Anga Bhramari, sound exercises, so much we have, the sitting and jumping. Then this one is very good. When you lift up one leg and then you go sideways and full bend, and then again dhin nakta, knee bend as much as you can go. Okay, so these are, I hope, simple enough for you to at least start with and inspire you to do Odissi. What is your opinion about making Western stories? I have myself used Western story. I'm sure some of you must be knowing. I have done Swan Lake, the Russian ballet. It's called Hansika, and it was extremely, extremely popular. And unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we have not been able to stage it, because it's a production with a large star cast, huge sets, magnificent sets, lights. So I'm not sure how we are going to go about it now with the pandemic. But and it's a different thing to do it digitally and different thing to see it live, of course. Beautiful music done by Praveen D. Rao, one of our brilliant composers here in Bangalore, who has kept the Tchaikovsky theme, especially the Dance of the Swans, in the beginning, and used that as the theme music which comes in between. Otherwise, the rest of it is, of course, it's all in Indian instruments, sitar and pakhawaj, madala, tabla, violin, everything is there. The storyline has been adapted to suit the Indian context. And I am open to do many more. I would like to do something maybe next time with something with Greek mythology. Why not? Do you believe if Abhinaya differs between dance and exams in Bharatanatyam and Odissi? Not really, Radhika. I wouldn't say so. Because in Odissi also we have but yes, maybe our way of portraying it would be a little more subtle. Not really. I don't think so. I think the Abhinaya is something that is completely very internal, and the more you mature as a dancer, whether you're a Kathak or a Bharatanatyam or Odissi, I don't think it differs between. No, When I say subtle, I didn't mean that way. I meant that our dance form is different, so it could be different. Should we have got another Odissi? Could we have got another Odissi class, please? Sorry, I didn't get your question. Could we get another Odissi class?
They must be meaning that they want you to come once again and give another class, ma'am.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I do have online classes if any of you want to join, or if you want to do, please let me know. Introductory workshop online, because now everything is online. We don't have a choice. In a way, you get participation from all over the world, which is one of the good things about going online, which was never there before, So I'll be very happy to take you through the course of Odissi.
Okay, Sharmila ma'am, it has been a great pleasure having you. And
thank you so much.
Me talking now would be like क्या बोलते हैं ना चांद को रोशनी दिखाना. It is showing the lamp to the sun.
Is it time? Do I have a short? If there are no more questions, I'll finish with a short shloka.
Yes, that's what I was going to tell you. There are questions, but I think so we will stop at the questions now. So you can go ahead
because,
and complete your session. Yes, ma'am.
I think it's a way to. I know this should be done in the beginning because this is actually a Mangala Charan. It's composed by me and it's on Goddess Lakshmi. I have myself choreographed it about how beautiful the goddess is, and
you have another question you can take from Mexico.
Yes, online classes, definitely. Please, Dr. Srimati, I will send all the details to you, all flyers and everything.
Yes, sure.
And I know this should be, this is actually in our Odissi repertoire, Mangalacharan is the first one we start with. I'm unfortunately finishing with this, but it's a beautiful shloka.
Sharmila ji, we have got the emails where we had asked, we'll be sending your class notes in Spanish, whatever you have explained now. So if you can send me the details of your online classes, we can put it down into the notes and share it with the people who have sent their emails.
Okay, surely. You want me to send that again, what I sent you?
No, not the notes. Your contact address, your contact online.
I will send you everything.
So that the more we share our knowledge, the more we grow, right? So it will be a pleasure sharing your portals with our Mexican connects, the people who are interested in Odissi. Yeah, you can go ahead.
We are there on the social media and Instagram, Facebook, so YouTube. Please do follow, and I'm sure there are ways to get in touch. Yeah. So let me just finish with this one, which is, as I said, it's a piece on Lakshmi. I'll just take the shloka and do it. I think the YouTube.
Battery 100%. Connected to Galaxy S20 FE 5G.
Shankha
That was it. Just an excerpt.
We are so enthralled, Sharmila Mukherjee.
Thank you so much.
Words fail us. This is one of the most beautiful master classes we have witnessed at this Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center. I'm so happy our students and teachers from Mexico could benefit out of your expertise.
Thank you so much.
Because of the pandemic, it is so difficult to get maestros like you in person. But sometimes I feel pandemic is a blessing to us. Otherwise, we would not have got Sharmila Mukherjee online. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
On behalf of the Shashdi Affairs, Embassy of India at Mexico, Juhi Rai, and my staff at Gurudev Tagore Indian Cultural Center, who are technologically so savvy to give us a glitch-free technical event. We have been doing awesome, and particularly in the pandemic. And thanks to maestros like you, who have made our life richer because of this pandemic. Otherwise, getting you to Mexico is, I have to see your diary, whether you're free or not to come here. Thank you once again. We are always here. We may come to you again to render your service.
Please do.
On behalf of my Mexican teachers, my students, my staff, my embassy, I thank you once again.
Thank you so much.
The teachers who have joined us today on the screen, our former teachers from GTICC, our present performers from GTICC, and it has been an honor to be a witness to this wonderful masterclass by Sharmila Mukherjee. Viva India, Viva Mexico. Namaskar.